some of the Wiggers offices made a few of the meetings too, so we're looking forward to something else coming out of that, but we don't have it yet.
And I want to commend the staff. I put a lot of time into this flood insurance issue, and it's going to help a lot of folks. Thank you.
John, which of those meetings do we need to go to?
I would say whichever ones you
One
make,
local officials, one open house.
you are local officials, and if you go to the earlier meeting, that's,
Well, it's just an hour. I go to that one. You can go to 5 o'clock when it's long.
I think I'm going to go and stay for the whole thing, because our police officers will be there, and I want to hear the comments.
Okay. Thank you.
You say the forum is what for those meetings? There's not going to be a question and answer session?
It's a one-on-one question and answer session. They'll have all the maps laid out, and you come in and find your location. If you got comments, you grab the DEQ or the MEMA representative standing there, and you tell them what you want and what you're concerned about. They write it down. It's not going to be a lecture or response type of presentation.
All right, we'll move to Harbor Walk now.
Yes, sir. We have before you, toward the end of your package, a letter from Harbor Walk requesting extensions to their deadlines. There are two deadlines. One concerns beginning construction of the hotel. We've given an extension to that deadline year by year for the last several years. The second one is an extension to the requirement for the 20% per year takedown. When Harbor Walk was leased, there were some properties that were included in options, and they're shown on the map here at the back. Let's see, it's almost even on the screen. The properties are in pink, taken down, and have been taken down. And then there was a number of parcels there that were options. Some of those have been taken down, and some have not. And Harbor Walk has missed that deadline for the last several years, but we've granted an extension. And in the back of your package, there's a rundown on the timeline on what has taken place. Harbor Walk has had 2 years of extensions on the 20% takedown, and then if an extension is granted this year, that fee would be $65,000 for this year. There's one more year left. In 2014, the options expire. As you can see, the part of the property that's in green or brown there are parcels that have not been taken down, so those are the parcels that are subject to consideration for the extension. The base lease that will be paid this year, regardless of extensions, is on order of $598,000. Harbor Walk has paid that lease every year, and they've never been late with their lease.
What percent is that fee of our budget, roughly?
About $12 million. It's around 5% or so.
We collect about $5 million in lease fees, and that's a big margin.
Pretty
It's
substantial.
very substantial.
There again, John, we're not aware of anybody knocking on our door as we discussed at this
Now, bear in
point.
mind, the almost $600,000 in rent is going to be paid.
Right.
That's a subject of the lease. What we're talking about here is whether we're going to give him an extension on lease
Oh,
options
yes, right.
to take down additional properties. The property shown in green back here on the board. That really has not got anything to do with base lease.
Right.
That would be paid.
But there again, there's no one competing for this.
I have not had anyone come to me and ask, how can I get in on the Harbor Walk? How can I get the lease?
Those particular
Change or
parcels,
whatever.
yeah.
I have not had that.
John, did you write him a letter or just give him verbal notice on some cleanup that needs to be done?
Yes, sir. After the last meeting, when the committee expressed an interest in him doing some cleaning up of piles of construction materials he's got over there, I did talk with him. He said, I'll do it. I'll start on it today. And of course, he hasn't. And when I asked him about it last week, he said, he made some comment to the effect, well, I really want to see what's going to happen at the board meeting before I go to that effort.
Is that 65,000, that's net over and above what he pays, is that what you're saying? Is there anything that's our money to do what you want to do as well?
Yes, sir, it is. We computed that based on the fact that, based on the calculation is if he took down the property, he would pay us a certain amount of money. And this is basically the interest on that money for a year that we would earn if we had got the money. So we're saying if he gives us the extension fee, we're basically financially in the same position we would have been had he taken it down.
I like the question you asked, is there any way that you could hold him to make sure, I mean, he wants to do what we're gonna do, is there any way you can hold him to maybe improve that front up there to make it look a little bit better as you move in that direction to extend it? Any leverage?
Basic lease, and the lease has conditions in it about maintenance, et cetera. And that is no property that's leased. Those construction materials.
This goes away anyhow next year if
The options go away after 14th of last year.
Your recommendation from staff.
I would recommend that he has presented some information to us in confidence, and I would recommend him going to executive session to discuss that additional,
He being the owners of
he
Harvard.
being Mr. Burwell.
Okay.
His attorney is available by telephone, should we ask, we want to call him and get some, because we'll be talking about a proposal, real estate action. We'd be talking about dollars and figures and things that he has said is confidential to his business.
If we are considering an executive session and we are talking about prospective leasing, then we need to go into a closed session to determine the need for an executive session based on prospective leasing of property. Now, are you going to have any other leasing that you need to talk about?
There's one other issue, the property located behind what was the Rapids. We have some parties interested in leasing that, and we would like to talk about that in an executive session.
So we'll go.
What we go in closed session?
Motion, Mr. Winstead, go in closed session. Is there a
To
second?
determine the need for an executive
Yeah.
session to discuss two prospective lease parcels.
That was exactly my motion.
Second by Mr. Caraway, go in closed session. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?